with Joy started approximately 30 years ago. We both were relatively new to the Valley, and we were in the same profession. We spent an awful lot of time working together, and we became very close friends even after I moved out of the area and came back. She's always stayed here and been a pillar of her community, and we've just always enjoyed each other's company. I found myself moving very close to her 2 years ago, and we were both really noticing our eyesight was starting to fail, and we both talked about the fact that we wanted to get cataract surgery. My name is Shirley, and I'm from Cascadia County.
And I'm Joy, and I'm from Skagit County.
What you like to do?
Oh, what do I like to do? Well, I like to get up and I like to exercise, and I like to take a lot of nice walks, and then I come back and make communication calls. I also like to help the community, so I'm connected to one of the cities. And I also like to do charity work and work with children and art.
What I usually do with my day is be very active. I'm really into a lot of fitness. I work out at the gym, I swim, I love gardening. I spend an awful lot of time reading, and I'm enjoying my retirement immensely after having a long career. My friendship with Joy started approximately 30 years ago. We both were relatively new to the Valley, and we were in the same profession. We spent an awful lot of time working together, and we became very close friends even after I moved out of the area and came back. She's always stayed here and been a pillar of her community, and we've just always enjoyed each other's company. I found myself moving very close to her 2 years ago, and we were both really noticing our eyesight was starting to fail, and we both talked about the fact that we wanted to get cataract surgery. Little did I realize that her and I were both booked to go to the same doctor at the same time, and we were going to have the surgery on the same day. And it actually turned out really well because we were able to travel back and forth and go for our after appointments and our before appointments, and we just turned it into a fun adventure.
Just how much we really appreciated the service. When we got to the center, we found it very easily. And we went inside, and the first person we spoke with was the receptionist, who really guided us kind of what was going to be happening and where we were going to be and who was taking care of us and what the next step was. So we giggled a lot, and then we just were very fortunate to have wonderful people that took us to each step for our first visit and made us feel very relaxed and wanting to help us, and they wanted to answer questions, that kind of thing. So I was thrilled. Shirley felt the same way.
My thoughts on Dr. Siapko, I can't say enough about him. He's a wonderful person, very good at what he does. Very calming, he's very reassuring. I joked around with him a fair amount because I knew that he was looking after Joy at the same time he was looking after me, and Joy was a little bit hesitant. She really didn't want to have it done, and but it turned out he was the one that really kept it all together and encouraged her, and I would highly recommend anybody seeing him.
Experience, yeah, I really was he put my mind at ease. There was a question or two that I wanted to know, and he was very responsive, and he took the time and effort to answer my questions and made me feel like we've got it. We're going to have a good experience.
My initial symptoms came upon me rather slowly. I just noticed I wasn't seeing as crisply as I had been seeing before. Because I had spent an awful lot of time in the garden and outside, I noticed that all the colors were just sort of mingling together, and it just was a gradual process. But I got to the point that I realized I knew that I could have the eyesight improved, so I thought I'm going to look into it, and that's when I went to the Cascadia Eye Center.
Mine was similar, and I just, at night, driving at night, I felt that there was too much glare for me, and I wasn't comfortable with doing that. And during the day, I seemed to be okay, but it wasn't as clear. And so that was another reason that I wanted that ability to see better if I could. And what was I waiting for? When I was with my doctor, I discussed the possibility of having it, but I was a little concerned at this point to go to the other doctor and have the procedure done in the hospital because of COVID, but also because it wasn't in 100%, because they couldn't guarantee it based on the needs of the community in Anacortes. So that's it. So it was simple and easy after I finally went through all my thoughts.
What finally made me decide was 6 months prior, I was told, oh, you've got juvenile cataracts and they're fine. And when I went to Cascadia, they didn't pressure me into having them removed. They said they're at the point where you probably should have them done. But once they talked to me about, yeah, you really should get these cataracts removed, then I felt very comfortable with proceeding. The day of the procedure, we had to be there relatively early. Joy and I are not morning people.
No, and not 6:30 we're having breakfast.
Yeah.
But we put ourselves together.
Yeah. And from the moment we walked into the reception area, they told us where to park, so we knew where to put the car. We walked into the reception in the back towards the surgery center, and the people there were just so professional and put us at ease, and it was just, very relaxing, and it seemed like people there were just there to make us feel comfortable.
And I hadn't been in that kind of surgical thing before. So seeing a few people and the curtains pulled on each person made me think, I'm next. I think I am. I think I'm going to be next. And they came, and they were so professional, as Shirley said. Everything that they told us and did and got us ready. It was a 1, 2, 3. And 4 was the doctor was right there saying, we're glad you're here today. And thank you. And I thought that put my mind at ease, because anybody, a doctor, a person that you're putting your body in their care, and he is thanking me for coming. And it touched my heart.
That's good. That's really good. Are we ready for the next one? Okay. So what were you most anxious about beforehand?
Well, we didn't know exactly what was going to be, right, Shirley? We knew that we were going to be ready, and they were getting us ready.
I think when you're older, surgery just freaks you out. You think, oh, I'm having surgery today. Oh my gosh. And yeah, I was a little uptight about it, but they just made us feel so at ease, and it was unlike any type of procedure I've ever had. I mean, people have said to me, did it hurt? No, it didn't hurt. There was nothing. There was no pain. It was very easy, very, very easy.
Well, they wheeled us out, and I think I was the first for the first eye, and then Shirley was number one for the second eye. So we just went, they put us in a wheelchair for a few minutes. They checked our vital signs, and they said, you're fine.
I decided that I would stay with her overnight because they don't really like you to be by yourself.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. We sat and watched a movie.
Yeah. And we kept saying, gee, and she said, I said, does it hurt you? Because it's not hurting me. And she said the same. Oh, she said it was so fast and so good. And I said, like new eyes. And she said, like new eyes.
And one of the things that I got such a kick out of was Joy really likes to do interior design like I do. And she had recently made a comment about the color of her bedroom and the walls. Was she really happy with it? And she walked in there and she goes, they're pink. And I said, yeah, but it's very pale pink. She said, they just look so awesome. She said, I just can't believe that it's my bedroom. And I said, well, there you go. We can watch a movie now. We don't have to wear glasses, and we can look at all of our beautiful decorating that we do. And
the colors were so alive for us.
It's pretty awesome. And as far as why we went to Cascadia in the first place was that I had a very close friend of mine that's had terrible vision his whole life, and he had gone to Cascadia, and he said to me, you have to go, Shirley. They are absolutely awesome there. And since he recommended, Joy and I both went, obviously, there. And since then, his wife has gone there, and two of our other really close friends have gone there. So we just feel like, we're just going to recommend everybody to go there.
Yes.
Because it was just the greatest
And the
experience.
best care. And the best care, really. They went out of their way, and we were very appreciative. And we told everybody that we saw how nice, thank you for working with the doctors and doing such a good job. I think any company that goes out of their way for people is so refreshing and so kind and so giving. And we need more of these wonderful people creating for us.
Both Joy and I talked a lot about the fact that all the medical procedures, as you get older, we go to dermatologists, and we go and we get things zapped off our body all the time, and we're always going back and forth about, oh, what do we have to get burned off now? And it's constant, and we're like shocked that we could go through something like this and have it be such a great experience.
Yeah.
Much more fun than having to have stuff burned off you.
And it's just, it is what it is. We're blessed living in a community where we do have some very good doctors, some very good people. And I'm always happy to say also the people that work for them, how they strive to do such a nice job. And that's important. People, I appreciate it, Shirley appreciates, I'm sure many other people do. And I think it's refreshing. I want to see more of it.
I guess the best advice I could give anybody is not to be nervous about it. It's so much easier than even getting a dental procedure done. It's a very, very easy thing, and your quality of life is going to improve.